Today, we're going to talk about something well, it's one of the toughest questions you can face, both in medicine and just in life. Should you tell someone they're dying? We're going to dive into the really deep ethics behind this very, very human dilemma. So, let's start with a situation, a hypothetical case that, medical teams deal with all the time. Let's imagine a man, he's 32 years old, and he's just been diagnosed with cancer. And then here's the next piece of devastating information. It's not just cancer, it's terminal. And his prognosis? He's been given just 3 months to live. Right away, you can just feel the weight of that. So this brings us right to the heart of it. What does the medical team do? Should they tell him? I mean, he's so young. They're worried that he and his family just won't be able to handle the news. So, what's the right call? Now, this question, to tell or not to tell, it's not new. But wow, has the answer changed over the years? Let's take a look at this huge shift in medical thinking. If you look back, the thinking was way more paternalistic, kind of like doctor knows best. The whole idea was to shield patients from the truth, to keep them from feeling hopeless. Some even thought it might help them recover. But the modern view? It's completely different. It's all about patient autonomy, your right to know. The focus has totally shifted from protecting a patient from the truth to empowering them with it. So you might be asking, why the big change? Why does the truth matter so much now? Well, it all comes down to a much deeper understanding of what people actually need when they're facing the end of their life. It's about being able to prepare. Think about it. When someone knows the truth, it opens up these crucial opportunities. It gives them a chance to actually talk about plans with their family, to sort out things with their job, and to get the emotional and, spiritual support they might need. It's really about giving them some say, some agency in their final months. And here's something really important that the research shows. Studies of patients who are seriously ill have found two things. First, pretty much all of them want to know what's really going on. And second, they almost always figure it out anyway, even if nobody says a word. That silence, it can actually create way more anxiety and isolation. Okay, so if all the evidence is pointing toward telling the truth, then the whole conversation needs to change, right? It's not about if we should tell anymore. It's about a much tougher, more important question. How? How do we share this news with compassion? This is definitely not a one-person job. The best way to do this is with a team, a compassionate, collaborative plan. It basically involves 3 key steps. First, you have the main doctor lead the way. Second, the team gets together and consults with the family members. And third, and this is so important, they bring in the experts, people like chaplains or hospice care assistants who are actually trained to help people through sickness and death. The idea is to build a whole support system for this incredibly delicate moment. And that just perfectly shows why having trained experts is so critical. Because in a crisis like this, just having good intentions isn't enough. People who mean well but don't have the training they can actually make things a lot worse. Delivering news like this bluntly or abruptly can be really, really damaging. And we're going to end with this really powerful quote from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who was a true pioneer in near-death studies. She said, "The question should not be, should we tell, but rather, how do we share this with the patient?" That one sentence just reframes the whole thing, doesn't it? It shifts it from a simple yes or no question to a profound responsibility. It's about care, it's about compassion, and it's about communication. It really leaves you thinking, not about the burden of the truth, but about the art of sharing it with dignity.